Chapter 11.
No!
I screamed. I was horrified. Bloody Mary tried to comfort me, but I told her fuck off, and I ran to my room, crying myself. Dumbledore chased after me, shouting, but he had to stop when I went into my room, 'cause he would look like a perv that way. Anyway, I started crying tears of blood, and then I slit both of my wrists. They got all over my clothes, so I took them off and jumped into a bath angrily while I put on a Linkin Park song at full volume. I grabbed an STEAK and almost stuck it into my heart to commit suicide. I was so fucking depressed. I got out of the bathtub and put on a black low-cut dress with lace all over it, sandly. I put on black high heels with pink metal stuff on the ends and 6 pairs of skull earrings. I couldn't fucking believe it. Then I looked out of the window and screamed. Snap was spying on me, and he was taking a videotape of me. And Lupin was masticating to it. They were sitting on their broomsticks.
Ew, you fucking perv, stop looking at me naked. Are you pedos or what?
I screamed, putting on a black towel with a picture of Marilyn Manson on it. Suddenly, Vampire ran in.
Abracadabra.
Vampire yelled at Snape and Lupin, pointing his womb. I took my gun and shot Snape and Lupin a gazillion times, and they both started screaming, and the camera broke. Suddenly, Dumbledore ran in.
Ebony has been revealed that someone has nerve!
Dumbledore shouted, looking at Snape and Lupin, and then he waved his wand, and suddenly, Hagrid ran outside on his broom and said, "Everyone, we need to talk."
What do you know, Hagrid? You're just a little Hogwarts student.
I may be a Hogwarts student. Hagrid paused angrily. But I am also a Satanist.
This cannot be,
Snap said in a crisp voice as blood dripped from his hand where Dumbledore's wand had shot him.
There must be other factors. You don't have any!
I yelled in madly. Lupin held up the camera, triumphantly.
The lens may be ruined, but the tape is still there.
I felt faint. More than I normally do. Like how it feels when you do not drink enough blood.
Why are you doing this?
Lupin said angrily while he rubbed his dirty hands on his cloak. And then I heard the words that I had heard before, but not from him. I did not know whether to feel shocked and happy, or to bite him and drink his blood because I felt faint. Because, Hagrid said, and he paused in the air, dramatically, waving his wand in the air. Then swooped he in, singing to the tune of a gothic version of a song by 50 Cent.
Because you're gothic?
Snap asked in a little afraid voice, 'cause he was afraid. It meant he was connected with Satan. Because I love her. Chapter 12. I was about to slit my wrists again with the silver knife that Drago had given me in case anything happened to him. He had told me to use it valiantly against an enemy, but I knew that we must go together.
No!
I thought that was Hagrid, but it was Vampire. He started to scream.
OMFG, no! My scar hurts!
And then his eyes rolled up. You could only see his red whites. Then I stopped.
How did you know?
I saw it, and my scar turned back into the lightning bolt.
No!
I ran up closer.
I thought you didn't have a scar anymore.
I shouted.
I do, but Diabolo changed it into a pentagram for me, and I always cover it up with foundation.
Vampire said back.
Anyway, my scar hurt and it turned back into the lightning bolt. Save me! Then I had a vision of what was happening to Draco. Wolfmort has him bondage.
Anyway, I was in the school nurse's office now, recovering from my slit wrists. Snap and Loppin and Horrid were there too. They were going to St. Mango's after they recovered because they were pedophiles, and you can't have those fucking pervs teaching in a school with lots of hot girls. Dumbledore has constipated the Cydio camera they took of me naked. I put up my middle finger at them. Anyway, Hagrid came into my hospital bed holding a bouquet of pink roses. "Enderby, I need to tell you something," he said in a serious voice, giving me the roses.
Fuck off! You know I hate the color pink anyway, and I don't like fucked up preps like you.
I snapped. Hagrid had been mean to me before being gothic. "No, Enderby, those are not roses," Hagrid says.
What, are they goths too, you poser prep?
I asked because I was angry that he had brought me pink roses. "I saved your life," he yelled angrily.
No, you didn't, I replied. You saved me from getting a Paris Hilton pee video made from your shower scene and getting viewed by Snap and Lupin.
Who masturbated. See, is that spelt wrong? To it, he added silently.
Whatever,
I yelled angrily. He pointed his wand at the pink roses. "These are roses." He suddenly looked at them with an evil look in his eye and muttered, "Well, if you wanted honesty, that's all you had to say."
That's not a spell, that's an MCR song.
I corrected him wisely. "I know, I was just warming up my vocal cords." Then he screamed, "Petulus Maringo Micrelickly Marancio!" For all you cool Gothic MCR fan out there, that's a tribute, specifically for Raven. I love you, girl. I'm on a noto okeo! And then the roses turned into a huge black flame floating in the middle of the air. And it was black. Now I knew he wasn't a prep.
Okay, I believe you. Now WTF is Draco.
Hagrid rolled his eyes. I looked into the balls of flame, but I could see nothing.
"You see, Enderby,"
Dumbledore said, watching the two of us watching the flame.
"To see what is in the flames." Haha, you reviewers, flames, get it? You must find yourself first, okay?
"I have found myself, okay, you mean old man!" Hagrid yelled. Dumbledore looked shocked. I guess he didn't have a headache or else he would have said something back. Hagrid stormed off, back into his bed. "You're a liar, Professor Dumbledore!" Anyway, when I got better, I went upstairs and put on a black leather mini dress that was all ripped on the ends, with lace on it. There was some corset stuff on the front. Then I put on black fishnets and black high-heeled boots with pictures of Billy Joe Armstrong on them. I put my hair all out around me so I look like Samara from The Ring. If you don't know who she is, you're a prep for fuck off. And I put on blood-red lipstick, black eyeliner, and black lip gloss.
You look kawaii, girl.
Bloody Mary said, sadly.
Fangs, get it? You do too.
I said sadly, too, but I was still upset. I slit both of my wrists, feeling totally depressed, and I sucked all the blood. I cried again in my bathroom, and put the shades on, so Snap and Lupin couldn't spy on me this time. I went to some classes. Vampire was in the hair of magical magic creatures. He looked all depressed because Draco had disappeared, and he had used to be in love with Draco. He was sucking some blood from a Hufflepuff.
Hi,
he said in a depressed way.
Hi back.
I said in a wukwally said way. We both looked at each other for some time. Harry had beautiful red gothic eyes so much like Draco's. Then we jumped on each other and started screwing each other.
Stop it now, you horny simpletons.
shouted Professor McGonagall, who was watching us, and so was everyone else.
Vampire, you fucker!
I said, slapping him.
Stop trying to screw me! You know I love Draco!
I shouted, and then I ran away angrily. Just then, he started to scream.
Oh, MFG! No! My Scarlet!
And then his eyes rolled up. You could only see his red whites.
No!
I ran up closer.
I thought you didn't have a scar anymore.
I shouted.
I do, but Diabolo changed into a pentagram for me, and I always cover it up with foundation.
He said back.
Anyway, my scar hurt, and then I had a vision of what was happening to Draco. Voldemort has him bondage!
Chapter 13. Vampire and I ran up the stairs looking for Dumbledore. We were so scared.
Dumbledore! Dumbledore!
We both yelled. Dumbledore came. There.
What is it that you want now, you despicable snobs?
He asked angrily.
Voldemort has Draco!
We shouted at the same time. Dumbledore laughed in an evil voice.
No! Don't!
We
need to save Draco!
We begged.
No,
Dumbledore said meanly.
I don't give a darn what Voldemort does to Draco, not after how much he misbehaved in school, especially with you, Ebony.
He said while he frowned, looking at me.
Besides, I never liked him that much anyway.
Then he walked away. Vampire started crying.
My Draco.
He moaned.
It's okay.
I tried to tell him, but that didn't stop him. He started to cry tears of blood. Then he had a brainstorm.
I had an idea.
He exclaimed.
What?
I asked him.
You'll see,
Vampire said. He took out his wand and did a spell. And then, suddenly, we were in Voldemort's lair. We ran in with our wands out just as we heard a croon voice say,
Alla Cadabra!
It was Voldemort. Chapter 14. Warning, some SUM of dis chapped is extremely XTREMLY scray. SCRAY. Viower VIOWER excretion advised. We ran to where Voldemort was. It turned out that Voldemort wasn't there. Instead, the fat guy who killed Cedric was. Draco was there crying tears of blood. Snaketail was torturing him. Vampire and I ran in front of Snaketail. Rid my sight, you despicable praps! He shouted as we started shooting him with the gun. He suddenly looked at me, and he fell down with a lovey-dovey look in his eyes. He said. In dis, he is 16 years old, so he's not pedophile, okay?
Huh?
I asked. Innobi, I love you. Will you have sex with me? Asked Snaketail. I started laughing crudely.
What the fuck? You torture my BF and then you expect me to fuck you? God, you are so fucked up, you fucking bastard.
I angrily. Then I stabbed him in the heart. Blood poured out of him like a fountain. No! He screamed. He started screaming and running around. Then he fell down and died. I burst into tears, sadly.
Snaketail, what art thou doing?
Called Voldemort. Then he started coming. We could hear his high heels clacking to us. So we got on our broomsticks and we flew to Hogwarts. We went to my room. Vampire went away. There, I started crying.
What's wrong, honey?
Asked Draco, tacking off his clothes so we could screw. He had a sex pack. Get it? 'Cause he's so sexy. And a really huge you-know-what and everything.
It's so unfair.
I yielded.
Why can't I just be ugly or pain like all the other girls and preps here except for Bloody Mary because she's not ugly or anything?
Why would you want to be ugly? I don't like preps anyway. They're such fucking sluts,
answered Draco.
Yeah, but everyone is in love with me. Like Snape and Lupin took a video of me naked. Hagrid says he's in love with me. Vampire likes me, and now even Snaketail's in love with me. I just want to be with you, okay, Draco? Why couldn't Satan have made me less beautiful?
I shouted, angrily.
I'm good at too many things. Why can't I just be normal? It's a fucking curse!
I shouted, and then I ran away. Chapter 15.
Emily! Emily!
Shouted Draco sadly.
No, please! Come back!
But I was too mad.
Whatever! Now you can go, have sex with vampire!
I shouted. I stormed into my room and closed my black door with my blood-red key. It had a picture of Marilyn Manson on it. He looked so sexy in a way that reminded me of Draco and vampire. I started to cry and weep. I took a razor and started to slit my wrists. I drank the blood, all depressed. Then I looked at my black GC watch and noticed it was time to go to biology class. I put on a short, ripped black gothic dress that said anarchy on the front in a blood-red letter and was all ripped and spiky belt. Under that, I put on ripped black fishnet and boots that said Joel all over them with blood-red letters. I put my ebony black hair out. Anyway, I went downstairs feeling all sad and depressed as usual. I did some advanced biology work. I was turning a bloody pentagram into a black guitar. Suddenly, the guitar turned to Draco.
Nobody, I love you.
Draco shouted sadly.
I do not care what those fucker pets and posers think. You're the most beautiful girl in the world. Before I met you, I used to want to commit suicide all the time. Now I just want to fucking be with you. I fucking love you.
Then he started to sing The Chronicles of Life and Death. We considered it our song now, because we fell in love when Joel was singing it. Right in front of the entire class. His singing voice was so amazing and gothic and sexy, like a cross between Gerard, Joel, Chester, Pierre, and Marilyn Manson.
Omfka!
I said after he was finished. Some fucking preps stared at us, but I just stuck up my middle fingers. They were all covered in black nail polish, and we were entwined with Dracos now. At them.
I love you,
I said, and then we started to kiss. Just like Hilary Duff, I fucking hate that bitch, and CMM in A Cinderella Story. Then we went away holding hands. Lupin shouted at us, but he stopped because everyone was clapping by how sexy we looked together. Then I saw a poster saying that MCR would have a concert in Hogsmeade right then. We looked at each other all shocked, and then we went. Together. Chapter 16. We ran happily to Hogsmeade. There, we saw the stage where GC had played. We ran in happily. MCR were there playing Helena. I was so fucking happy! Gerard looked even sexier than he did in the pictures. Even Draco thought so. I could totally see him getting an erection, but it didn't matter, because I knew that we were the only true ones for each other. I was wearing a black leather mini dress and black leather platinum boots with red, ripped fishnets. Draco was wearing a black baggy MCR t-shirt and black baggy pants. Anyway, we start moshing to Helena. We Frenched. We ran up to the front of the band to stage dive. Suddenly, Gerard pulled off his mask. So did the others. We gasped. It wasn't them at all. It was Voldemort and the Death Dealers.
WTF, Draco, I'm not going to a concert with you.
I shouted angrily.
Not after what happened to me last time? Even if it's MCR and you know how much I lick them.
What? Because
Draco gadgeted uncomfortably, because guys don't like to talk about you-know-what.
Yeah, 'cause you know.
I yielded in an angry voice.
We won't do that again.
Draco promised.
This time we're going with an escort.
So I guess you're a prep or a Christina or what no?
I asked.
No.
He muttered loudly.
Are you becoming a prep or what?
I shooted angrily.
Henry, I'm not. Please, come with me.
He fell down to his knees and started singing "Da World is Black" by GC to me. I was flattened, 'cause that's not even a single. He had memorized the lyrics just for me.
Okay then, I guess I will have to.
I said, and then we Frenched for a while, and I went up to my room. Bloody Mary was standing there.
How'd your mother, she the girl?
She said happily. She speaks Japanese, so do I. That means how do you do in Japanese.
By the way, will that fucking poser got us bold? She failed out her clan and she killed man.
It serves that fucking bitch right.
I laughed angrily. Well, anyway, we were felling all depressed. We watched some gothic movies like Das Nightmare Before Christmas.
Maybe Willow will die too.
I said.
Kawaii.
Bloody Mary shook her head energetically, lethargically.
Oh yeah, her confession, she got a spell, I murdered her, and she didn't. Lupin did it with her cause he's a neckflick.
Kawaii.
I commented happily. We talked in silence for the rest of the movie.
Oh hey BTW, I'm going to a concert with Draco tonight in Hogsmeade with MCR. I need to wear like the hot set outfit ever.
I said. Bloody Mary nodded energetically.
Oh gee, tell her, let's go shopping.
In Hot Topic, right?
I asked, already getting out my special hot topic loyalty card.
No.
My head snapped up.
What?
My head spewing. I could not believe it.
But Bloody Mary, are you a prep?
No.
She laughed.
I found some cool gothic stores near Hogwarts, that's all.
Who told you about them?
I asked. Sure, it would be Draco or Diabolo or Vampire. Don't even say that name to me. Or me.
Definitely do it. Let me just call up Brahms.
Dumbledore?
I asked quietly.
Yeah, I saw the man for Hogwarts was dead. Come on, let's go.
She told me. We were going in a few punk goof stores, specially for concerts in Hogsmeade. The salesperson was OMG hotter than Gerard, except not, 'cause that's impossible! And he gave me a few dresses.
We only have these for the real goths.
The real goths?
Me and Bloody Mary asked.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe how many poses there are in this town, man. Yesterday, Lupin and Snap tried to buy a gothic camera punch.
He shook his head.
I didn't even know they had a camera.
OMG, no! They're gonna spy on me again!
I cried, running out of the changing room wearing a long black dress with lots of red tulle coming out and very low cut with a huge slit.
Oh my Satan, you have to buy that outfit.
The salesperson said.
Yeah, I love totally hot.
Said Bloody Mary.
You know what? I'm going to give it to you free because you look really hot in that outfit. Hey, are you going to be at the concert tonight?
He asked.
Yeah, I am actually.
I looked back at him.
Hey, BTW, my name's Ebondi Darkness Dementia Taro Way. What's yours?
Tom Reed.
He said, and ran a hand through his black-dyed hair.
Maybe I'll see you there tonight.
Yeah, I don't think so, 'cause I'm going there with my BF Draco, you sick perv.
I yelled angrily, but before he could beg me to go with him, Hargrid flew in on his black broom, worried. OMFG Ebondi, you need to get back into the castle now. Chapter 17. Tom Riddle gave us some clothes and stuff for free. He said he would help us with makeup if we wanted, cause he was really into fishing and stuff. He's bisexual. Hargard kept shooting at us to come back. C-U-M come to Hogwarts.
WTF, Hargrid? Fuck off, you fajucking bastard.
I shouted angrily. Well, anyway, Willow came. Hargard went away angrily.
Hey, bitch, you look kawaii.
She said.
Yeah, but not as kawaii as you.
I answered sadly, 'cause Willow's really pretty and everything. She was wearing a short black corset thingy with blood red lace on it, and a black blood red miniskirt, leather fishnets, and black pointy boots that showed off how pale she was. She had a really nice body with big bobs and everything. She was thin enough to be anorexic.
So are you going to the concert with Draco?
She asked.
Yeah?
I said, happily.
I'm going with Diablo Lolo.
She answered, happily. Well, anyway, Draco and Diabolo came. They were both locking extremely hot and sexy, and you could tell they hoofed. We were ought to. Diabolo was wearing a black t-shirt that said 666 on it. He was wearing tons of makeup, just like Marilyn Manson. Draco was wearing black leather pants, a gothic black GC t-shirt, and black Vans he got from the Warped Tower. B. Luddy Mart was going to the concert with Dracula. Dracula used to be called Navel, but it turned out that he was kidnapped at birth and his real family were vampire. They died in a car crash. Navel converted to Satanism, and he went goth. He was Slytherin now. He was wearing a black warped t-shirt, black jeans and shoes, and black hair with the red streakers in it. We call him Dracula now. Well, anyway, we all went to Draco's black Mercy Bands, get it, 'cause we're that his dad Lucian gave him. We did pot, coke, and crack! Draco and I made out. We made fun of those stupid, fucking preps. We soon got there. I gapsid. Gerard was the sexiest guy ever. He looked even sexier than he did in pics. He had long Raven Blake hair and piercing blue eyes. He was really skinny and had an amazing ethnic voice. We moshed to Helena and some otter songs. Suddenly, Gerard pulled off his mask. So did the other members. I gasped. It wasn't Gerard at all. It was an ugly preppy man with no nose and red eyes. Everyone ran away but me and Draco. Draco and I came. It was Voldemort and the Death Dealers.
You moronic idiots!
He shooted angstily.
Inabi, I told you to kill vampire. Thou have failed, and now I shall kill thou and Draco.
No.
No.
No, please.
We begged sadly, but he took out his knife. Suddenly, a gothic old man flew in on his broomstick. He had long black hair and a long black bread. He was wearing a Blake robe that said Avril Lavigne on the back. He shotted a spell, and Voldemort ran away. It was Dumbledore.